They say you can't do it until you're 18, so obviously there has to be some mystical thing about it when you're a young kid.
Yeah, just being a little rebel, innit? Just running around and just thinking that you're rude because you're getting drunk at the age of 12.
Drink makes you feel free and you don't care what you do, really.
When I drink, yeah, I can't remember what I'm doing. That's why I don't know what I feel.
You don't ever know, do you, what's going on in other people's lives and other people's minds. They might be just showing you a front, showing that, yeah, they're just out to have a good time, but really, they've got something terrible happening to them at home, and that's why they're out drinking and partying. But really, they're really depressed, and you don't know, do you? I got myself into a lot more risky things, because when you're drunk, you lose control of your senses and your abilities and all that. So when you were drinking, I'd get myself into situations that were dangerous. And I thought I could fly. Yeah. Wouldn't do that again. I got really drunk once and ended up fighting with one of my old mates. And they wouldn't let me out through the front door, so I jumped out the window. But we were in like a second storage flat thing, and it was high. They said that I was lucky that I didn't do any proper damage and end up in a wheelchair, so I wouldn't be doing that one again. I just find that through drinking as well, I make a fool of myself. I do stupid things which I shouldn't do, so that's another thing why I don't do it.
Marcio came to the UK with his grandmother in 2002. 3 months later, she fell ill.
First time I went, I think that was fun, yeah. But the second time we tried, and the third time we tried just to try to forget my problems because my grandmother was sick. We stopped studying for working to support my grandmother. Sometimes I drink by myself. Sometimes when I get mad, I get my drink and get drunk. And sometimes with my friends or my friend's house. The day after, someone tell me, you did this, yeah, but I can't remember what I'm doing. When I tried to study, yeah, I didn't study properly because I'm just drinking drunk and things like that, yeah. And I'm come very low as well, and depression.
When she was 16, Tasha went to a party at her neighbour's house.
People started turning up, started playing music and that. Then we got a bit more drunk and everything like that. And then we started playing games like Spin the Bottle and Truth or Dare. And got a bit more drunk, played strip poker, just played loads of games. And then we started getting more intimate with everyone, like started getting more intimate and everything because we was absolutely drunk out of it. I did think about my boyfriend at first, like when I was around my house getting ready, and when I went round my friend's house, and then before everyone started turning up, and then just got a bit too. Everyone was just talking and laughing, dancing, then you just kind of forget about it.
I was 13 when I first started drinking, just like socialising with friends. Then gradually in time, as things got worse in my life and I got moved around into different care homes and whatever not, that's when it escalated and got a bit more extreme, like every day drinking. I'd be drinking go through about 3 litres of vodka a week. But even though I drink, I wouldn't come in till like 2, 3 in the morning. I used to get up. I'd get up at 6 in the morning. I had to have a drink first thing in the morning. That was the first thing I had to do. I didn't used to eat. I just used to drink. I used to get my little bottles from out my wardrobe, run downstairs, fill them up with whatever drink I could find in the house. Run upstairs, drink them, then brush my teeth, then leave. And then I'd walk to school, and then in morning break, if I had chance or something, I'd run to shop and I'd get like one of the older looking boys in the orchard to go buy me some beers. And then again at lunchtime.
There's a lot of experiences that I regret from drinking. You know, it's like two sides to the coin always, where there's been times where drinking has led to really good things, but I'd probably say more than often drinks led to a lot of bad things. It was a guy's wedding and I would have only been about 15, 16. But I'd known these people for a few years through snooker, and one of them was getting married. So after he got married, we had a do up the road that I only actually lived 5 minutes away from. After a few drinks, but at the time I didn't know that the drinks had actually been spiked with spirits. But after about 2 pints, what I thought was 2 pints, the truth was it probably, after the spirits, was about 7 or 8 pints. I was pretty wasted. I was put into a taxi to get home where I lived 5 minutes away, and somehow it took me 4 hours to get home. So what I did in that time, I don't know. The taxi driver probably does, but I don't. And I remember waking up the next morning in the airing cupboard, absolutely starkers, wondering what had happened. And you always say, oh, that'll never happen to me. But once you've experienced the fact that you can get into such a state that you don't remember bits of time, then I guess that it's a reality call, the fact that, you know, something could have happened to me in that time. Within those 4 hours, you know, something may have happened to me that shouldn't, and I wouldn't know what to say.
Marcio's grandmother passed away in 2003. He moved in with relatives. His drinking had escalated.
Yeah, I was living with my auntie. And she asked me the first time, you have to look for help if you want to stay here. I didn't look for help. And the second time she told me the same thing, I didn't. And the first time she kicked me out, she just put my things out on the street. Yeah, tell you have to look for help. After that, you can call me.
Being thrown out of home motivated Marcio to find help and other ways of coping.
Even if I have a problem, yeah, I know how to control myself right now. I'm just gonna looking for someone else to have chat with me and spread about my problems. Maybe they can help me.
Drinks at the party were flowing.
Whiskey, vodka, wine. Then you just start kissing each other and it just starts getting touchy-feely, and then at the end of that you're really so drunk you can't remember what you're doing, then you're having sex.
I think it's a lot to do with the people you drink with, the people you surround yourself with. You know, there's people I know that are sober that are fine, and I know that once they've had a drink I wouldn't want to be around them. And at the same time, you know, there's things that you'll find funny when you're drunk that when you wake up you won't find so funny in the morning. Why that is, I don't know.
If I got that bad, I would be shaking if I didn't have a drink. That's when I thought to myself, oh, that's a bit too, I think I'm going a bit too far, but it still didn't make me stop. But I thought, oh, and people would be like, oh, you're an alcoholic now, you've got the shake. So I think, oh, well. It sort of just got like into a routine of drinking. It didn't seem different to me. It's like now when I'm at college, every break time I have a fag, where before every break time I'd have a drink, or every morning I'd have a drink. It just got into a routine of things. To me it was normal, but to other people it was like, what are you still drinking for? Look how drunk you are, and things like that. But to me that was me being normal. I didn't know no better, I didn't know no different, because I'd been used to doing it for so long. So.
When Tasha woke up the next morning, she thought she just had a hangover.
My friend came around my house and like asked if I had a good night and was it a good party and that. I said, yeah, like bits I could remember. And then she said that, did I have fun like sleeping with her boyfriend and that, and her and that? And I was like, what? Oh my God, sort of thing. I didn't do that, did I? And she goes, yeah, you did. And then she said that she'd been to the doctors because she has chlamydia. And she said that I might have it as well. It was horrible, and I'm thinking, what the heck have I done? I think I was more worried about my boyfriend at the time. What was he going to think and stuff like that. It took a couple of days to tell him that I slept with someone else and caught a disease and that. I felt dirty and cheap and horrible. He didn't trust me and wouldn't let me go out, wouldn't let me drink with my friends. It got too much, so we split up. Well, if I hadn't been drinking, none of that night would have happened. I would have never gone to the party, so none of it would have happened. And no, I wouldn't be in that situation.
Although she was drinking every morning, Becky was still going to school.
But they never noticed until when it got really bad, when I was coming in and I was staggering through the door. Well, they say, I don't know if you call it like an alcoholic, but they're very good at lying, very good at hiding their drink, if you know what I mean, like making it look like they're sober when they're not. that's how they work, innit? It went on for months before they started picking up on things. Like my schoolwork would be like, one day it'd be nice and neat, the next day, because I'd be like half cut, it would all be all sloppy and that. And then that's when school realised that there was something not right.
Curtis was a promising snooker player, entering local championships at 15.
Alcohol makes things that are funny at the time, you know, things that you might not find funny now, that you'll find funny later on. It takes that voice of reason away, you know. You're with friends, you're having a drink, you're having a laugh. Drink gives you an excuse to do things that you wouldn't otherwise do, have the bottle to do or should do. I play a lot of snooker and I took it very, very serious when I was younger. I wanted to and still do hope to make a career of it. And when I started drinking at a younger age, about 15, 16, you know, I was obviously getting people downstairs to buy me drinks while I was upstairs practicing snooker, and I'd come down and make an absolute fool of myself, maybe saying something to someone I shouldn't or throwing a snooker ball or something. And, you know, for that reason I couldn't go and practice at that club anymore, you know, or I couldn't go and play in a tournament that'd be happening that week at that club. And, you know, maybe later on in life when I don't make it at snooker, you know, I could look back and say, well, you know, I ruined my own career there. You know, I needed to be able to practice snooker, and because of, you know, my antic ways when I was drinking, I can't go and practice snooker anymore. So, you know, I kind of cut off my nose to spite my own face.
When you drink like practically every day, you don't give chance for the alcohol to come out of your system. So every morning I used to wake up, I felt the same. To me that was being sober, but I weren't, I was still slightly drunk. But because then I'd just carry on the next day and just keep drinking a bit more, and just constantly topping up, so I never got it out of my system to get a hangover. So, but now if I drink, because I don't drink anymore, if I go out and have a few drinks, I feel it the next day now.
With help from a support group, Marcio has turned his life around.
I stopped drinking about 2 months right now, and I think I'm gonna be great. Yeah, just looking for the future. I have to try to forget my past. Still studying. That's one of my focus. Go to university, and after that go back to my country.
I think the drink sort of, I don't know, it just helped me get through the day, made me feel a bit more confident in myself, because I was lacking in everything then. Yeah, I've come on a lot. I was up in school, but yet I've managed to stick 2 years out through college. You can't put blame on other people, because at the end of the day you're the one that's pouring the drink down your neck or whatever. So at the end of the day it's your choice. Where I used to drink on my own, so you can't say that it's other people. I'd moved out from where I was living. I lost contact with them sort of people that we used to drink with, and I was moving forward in my life. It's positive because you're not drinking, you're not doing damage, you're not going on a mad one and end up getting in trouble and things like that. So it's all worked out for the best in the long run. It's easier to slip into it than get out of it, definitely. Yeah, but I managed it and doing all right now. I like waking up with a clear head and feeling ready for the day.